Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Tharp, and this is probably the last recording that will go into the lesson on understanding themes and templates. So, up to this point, we've gone into the different systems that are in there. And what we're going to focus on now is when to use templates and when to use themes. So I'll be going into demonstrating this more as we go, but templates are page specific layouts. So it's a form follows function kind of things. When you need a specific layout for different types of pages, such as product pages, blogs, or content form. Of course, consistency is the other thing. So that if you're working on a product page, you want all your product pages to be consistent. Efficiency is that ability to open a document or create a document or input into a document so that it is always the same. So that builds in an efficiency. So you're not recreating that same set of code over and over again. And then, of course, when you want to customize specific pages without changing the overall site design. When to use theme is for your overall design. So you use themes to control the appearance, the brand that you're putting forward. Branding is the other thing when you want to have a consistent brand. User experience, responsiveness, meaning that it responds to whatever size screen you're using, and performance, which really usually comes down to speed. So, what are we talking about here? Well, um, what I want to do is I want to go into some common tools that you are used to using and look at it from that So, what I've got on my screen, I'm working in Microsoft Word right now. And whenever you go into Word and you choose a new document, you're going to come up here and you'll see this new. So if I chose to create new, what it's going to do is it's going to show me templates. So right up here at the top is templates, and those templates are based upon what you're trying to do. So down here in looking for available types of templates, you might be looking for a business template. Maybe you are wanting to do a newsletter. Maybe you're wanting to do some business cards. Whatever it is, there's templates in there for the things that are most common. And what those templates do is they bring in a structure and a set of style rules that you will use with those. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've chosen this um, this template right here, and I'll pull that in here so you can see it. So what we've got here is a copy of this document that came from that template. And again, I'm going to go into this design tab. This is available when you've got the installed version. It's not necessarily there when you're using the version of Word. But when I come in here, what I can do, and again, I'm in the design tab, and what there are is a whole series of different types of combinations of rules and elements that are set in here. So different font sizes, different titles, um, all these different things. And you can see as you're scrolling through them that each one of them changes the overall appearance of this document. So the other thing that you can do is once you've established that, and I'm going to stick with this one that fits on the screen. You can come in here and you can choose from different themes. So the themes are the more focused on the presentation. So you notice the structure of this document is not changing that much, or it's really not changing at all, because all I'm really doing is applying different themes, which are sets of presentation materials, so that I can have a consistent kind of look in there. The other thing that you can do, and you'll notice when I clicked on that, some of these other things changed along the way. So what it did over here under the theme colors is it grabbed a different color family. And I don't know if I can see what color family is in there right now or not, but it's probably right around this green. Um, And so you can change your fonts. You can change all of those style things that show up in a style sheet. And that's ultimately what we are looking at here is it's style sets. So a style sheet is a set of styles that are stored in a document. In here, they're not stored in a separate document. They're actually stored in the background of this document. And that allows you to use the template to affect the sort of structure, and then you can use the themes to affect the styles that are in there. Now, if I pull up Excel, you're going to see the same kind of thing. So when I come in new, I've got this list of different kinds of templates depending upon what I want to do. So form follows function. So I went through and looked at some of these earlier, and I'm going to choose this family budget from those templates, and I'm going to create this document. What this does, when I chose that template, it laid out the styles, it laid out the colors, it laid out different areas within here that are designed to contain content. But the other thing that it did is it created different sheets in here. So these would be in comparison to in a content management system. Maybe you've got a products page or a categories page or whatever. And you'll notice that in this particular one, we've got an expenses category. So it's been set up ahead of time as part of the template so that what it is able to do is you're able to set up these expense categories in this sheet. And then when you come to interact with it, so there's a connection between this sheet and the options of things that you can choose from. So when you click on that arrow, it gives you it populates the possible fields from this expenses categories. And that is very, very similar to the way that it works when you are working with web pages, content management systems, that sort of thing. So let me get a couple of these out of the way here. And I'm going to go back to the document that I'm working on. So I'm going to choose, I've already got the structure of this. I actually built this from scratch. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to apply a different kind of style sheet to this. And then I'm going to apply my color scheme. And then I'm not going to make changes over here. I could do that when you're going through. You can always do that. I could choose to make a color, a different color background. But rather than getting stuck into the minutia of this is how you do it, the idea is that you are used to using themes and templates if you have regularly worked on creating content, Word documents, Excel, whatever it is. So you're already used to the idea of themes and content. So I'm going to bring in first. This is my personal website. This is a Shopify site, or not a Shopify site, pardon me. It's a WordPress site, one that I've had for years. I'm using a theme of Zen macrame. I could change that by simply coming in and picking out a different template. So I'm going to just choose uh, this, and I want to see what that looks like. So I'm going to activate that, and then we'll go in and we will look at my site with that new theme uh, in place. So I didn't show what it was before, but this is the structure based upon that template. Now, if I want to go back and I want to change my theme back, and that's what I'll do is just so that you can see, I'm going to go back to the theme that I was already using, the Zen macrame, and I'm choosing to activate that. So then when I go in and visit my site, what it's going to do, it's almost the same, but there are differences in the structure of the document, the HTML and the way that the content is presented in there based upon the structure of that theme. Now, the theme or the template, templates and theme, and it gets confusing. But the structure that comes with a template allows for how each of these different elements are going to show up. So if I go into a post that is a blog post, it's going to look this way. If I go into other kinds of areas that are not necessarily blog posts, then you can see that it takes on a different structure, but the presentation is staying the same. So now what I want to do is I want to go to this, by the way, is a WordPress site. And when you go into WordPress, you're going to have a dashboard in here that contains the information that you need to interact with your site. So if I'm wanting to deal with the appearance or the themes, I come down into the appearance here, I go into themes, and then it's going to bring up my ability to start customizing the things that I have. And so I can come in here and I can change the site identity. I can change the color schemes that I'm wanting to use. So there's the header text color. So that's why that's showing up there if I want to change the color of the page. So most of this it's affecting the CSS, but it's being done through a series of menu options. And the different tools that I'm using within a template may affect the structural layer, so the HTML, the presentation layer, which is the CSS, and the behavioral level, which is the scripting that it does. So, for instance, this content over here doesn't exist on the page. It's created on the fly when this page is created by scripts in the background that say, in this case, go out and find the latest posts and present them up there. The pages for these don't actually exist until I click upon that link, and then that is going to bring me to the specific page, and it's going to create that page based upon information that is stored in the database, which includes images, text. Um, Here is in this case, it is a link to embed a video. All of that stuff is done on the fly. Now, as with most of these, there are places where you can go in and add your own CSS, but we're not going to get into that today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in and we are going to focus upon Shopify. So I make sure that I come to the home page of my store on Shopify by clicking on that Shopify logo when I am logged into my store. And you can tell you're at your store by this little area over here. And what I want to do first is talk about the things that apply at the overarching level, the highest level. So we're talking about our branding kind of stuff, the stuff that is going to apply to our e-commerce store. Now, it's important to realize that Shopify has a niche in that what you're creating on Shopify is e-commerce websites, e-commerce stores, and things related to it. So that kind of limits the scope of what kinds of things you're going to be putting on the page, gives it focus that kind of reduces some of the stuff that can become clutter. But what we're going to do is we need to start at that top level. What are the things that are going to apply on every single page? So what we do is we start off at the home page here and we come down into settings, and we choose settings to set up a lot of things. But for the sake of templates and themes, what we're going to do is we're going to make our way down to brand assets. And what we want to do is we want to manage those. And I've already set up some brand assets in here. And you can see that I've gone through and done several of them. But I've set up my logos, I've set up my colors, short description, and a few of these other items that will be able to be included on all the pages, no matter what the template, no matter what the theme. And so those are, again, those high level documents that are core to your branding. So once we have that established and we know that we've got that kind of squared away, what we want to do is we want to start working on, we want to pick a specific theme. And the way that we do that is we come into the online store, and the online store, the first thing it has is themes. That's why it's important. It's important, so it's there first. And you've got the theme that comes first, that is the default. There are other themes that are spotlighted in there. And then you can click on this add themes, and you can go to a theme where you can browse different kinds of themes that are available, and where you can kind of choose what are the types of things that you want to have included. We're not going to dig into those. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to look at how to customize this enterprise theme, which is the theme that we are using for this class. So the first thing that we have the option to do is go in here and customize it. Now, we are customizing the theme here. So as we're applying to this, we're going to set up elements that are going to apply within this theme. If we change themes later, those elements are not going to still be in that same location. So we've got the ability to go up and work on our announcement, which is, this is up here. We've got our header. We've got all these different sections of the site that we can set up, and the place that all of that's done is over in these areas. So we've got, and here it is right there, templates. So within the page, we've got a template. Within the theme, we've got a template. It's got the announcement at the top. It's got the header. It's got the promo strip. But then there's all these other templates that are down here. And those templates will apply the same style elements that you set up in these theme settings. So colors, typography, we've talked about some of these already, but there's a whole series of different settings that apply to the theme. But when we come into these templates, so if I wanted to do a page that was a collection or a product page, I would have the ability to come in and change those templates. And what those templates become are pages in the site that have a structure built into them, where you can see what, for instance, the quencher product is. And right now, that's the only product that I have in there. But um, this is presented in this way so that you can have a consistent, so that every time you pull up a product with that template, it's going to look similar. So you've got within that template, you've got, again, different things that you can set, different settings that you can set that are going to apply anytime you're in that template. And that's where it becomes efficient. So you may have a thousand products or more, and instead of having to go in and customize each of those product pages, you only have to do that once. Same thing for collections, the images that show up, any of the things that are over here. You've got the ability to come in and affect that particular product um, in the template. So the templates show up under the sections, and the theme settings show up under the settings. And so, like you saw earlier in my videos, that's similar to the way that it functions when you're using products such as Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, really just about any kind of software that allows you to control the look and the feel of the document that you're working on. So this is kind of where the rubber hits the road, and it allows us to go in and see what we've got going on. We can choose our catalog here. So this is a preview of the site, and if I go into the catalog, the template is going to be different. So it's going to lay out differently. And that is the important thing to realize. The difference between themes and templates is themes are really looking at the presentation level, and templates are looking first at the structural level. So coming back to this document of when to use templates and when to use themes, page specific layouts, the first thing here. So when you are trying to do a product page, a blog post, contact form, it lays out the way that it's going to do that. Themes are more focused on the overall design um, within that theme itself. And again, a theme is a set of, it's a coding set that applies HTML or structural content elements, presentation elements, which are style sheets, and behavior elements, which are the scripts that allow it to do that on the fly. And that, my friends, is what I think you need to know about templates, themes, and branding.